Legally in Love, written and narrated by C. Taylor, edited to meet YouTube guidelines. To purchase the unedited book, please click the link in the description. Chapter 4B. Christian, they both said in unison and flinched away. That was the final bucket of ice water on their evening. Dream was officially over. Reality was back. Other than knowing how they felt for each other, that final roadblock was not passable by either of them. Neither would betray her brother. He let go of her, and they both moved to opposite sides of the kitchen, her legs shaking but thankfully holding her weight as she leaned against the counter. John anchored both hands to the table behind him as he watched her. Both took deep breaths. Emma faced him. "I should go," she stated the obvious. "Yes," he agreed resolutely. "I probably shouldn't come to your house anymore, or look at you. Never touch you again, or get too close." She started going through a list of what she would have to do to not attack him again. "I never understood why you did all those things. Now I do." His eyes wide, watching her closely. "You didn't feel it too?" She asked, a little disappointed and confused. Maybe she had been the one to attack him outside Luke's room. "You always intrigued me. Thinking back, I always wanted to see you and talk to you. I'd find out as much as I could about you, but you'd always disappeared. My little white rabbit." "Your white rabbit?" she asked, mockingly suspicious. His eyes darkened again, his face serious as he gazed at her, making her mouth go dry. "My white rabbit." The pull to go to him, wrap herself around him, was physically painful to resist. Her whole body was throbbing. How could just words from his mouth make her legs wobbly again? His eyes steady on her, still dark, still needing her. Her heart pounded, eyes locked to his. On its own, her head nodded in agreement to his command. She was his, only his. His eyes went black. She saw it a second before he turned his head and closed his eyes tight to break their bond. Annette gasped and nearly slid to the floor, grabbing the counter just in time. His breathing was ragged and heavy. Her whole body was shaking. She closed her eyes too, focused on clearing the furious build of energy from her body, forcing it to flow through her until she found her equilibrium. She would sometimes feel overwhelmed with energy if she was in large crowds or if she was around someone who was really angry. All those times combined were nothing compared to what she was feeling now. It took a few moments, but her heart finally slowed and the shaking eased. Legs felt more stable. When she opened her eyes, she saw that John was still struggling. Breathing was labored, knuckles white as he clenched the table he was leaning against. She slowly made her way toward him. "I'm just going to touch your wrist, John. I'm not coming on to you. I just want to help." He didn't look up at her. She saw him tense a moment before he slowly nodded his head. She cautiously reached out her hand, gently encircled his wrist, and closed her eyes. The rush of energy hit fast. Her breath caught, and she had to steady herself against the same table. He flinched to catch her. "No, don't. If you touch me again, this will build up, and we both need this to die down." He stayed tense until he knew she was steady. Gradually, she felt the energy quiet, his breathing more even, her heart less frantic. She was careful to let go of him and back away slightly before opening her eyes. He was watching her. She took a deep breath to keep the energy down, his eyes threatening to build it up again. "How do you do that?" he asked with wonder. She shrugged and shook her head gently. "I don't know. The most I've been able to figure out is it's an energy thing. After I was taken, I was terrified of everything. I studied meditation and visualization and figured out how to calm myself down. Soon after, I realized I could also do it for other people." "You did it earlier in the car too, didn't you?" he asked softly. She gently nodded. She was careful to only use it on other people in extreme cases. John? Well, with John, all her rules, judgment, sanity went out the window and always had. She was his, only his. Considering they were trying to bring this evening to a close not in his bedroom, she kept that thought to herself. She took a deep final breath and tried to step without holding onto the counter. She didn't crumple to the floor. This was promising. "I should go," she said, still more breathy than she would have liked, but she'd done the best she could while still being in his presence. "I'll walk you to your car," he offered and successfully pushed away from the table. "Oh, no, I don't think that's a good idea," she argued. "You still have Luke's car seat, yes?" His eyebrow cocked to one side. He was going to be the death of her. Her eyes narrowed, but she couldn't help the fact that he was right. A good point. I don't suppose you'd agree to wait on the steps while I get it and bring it back to you? What kind of gentleman would I be if I let you do that? Cocky smile returned. He took her hand and led her out the front door. Her hand only shook slightly when she unlocked her car with the key fob. He opened the back door and she saw him check the base. Wow, you really have that secure, almost as tight as I get it. Emma smiled nervously. Yeah, well, Christian put me in charge of putting the car seat in the car when they brought Chaselyn home from the hospital. Those nurses are strict, and I wasn't about to have Christian give me that look if I failed. You better believe I made sure that thing didn't move. She paused as he pulled it out from the car. Luke is just as important to me. He put the car seat on the ground and turned to her. I'm going to pull you into a hug, but like you said, it isn't a come on. I just want to thank you for one of the best nights of my life. Is that okay? She was confused by the comment, but smiled at the same time and nodded. He pulled her in, her head nuzzled into his shoulder and neck. His jaw rested against her forehead. She smiled again at the sweet pleasure of feeling safe in his arms. Thank you for not making me feel embarrassed for kissing you earlier. From John's perspective, that comment made no sense. You think you were the one that kissed me? It was the only thing that made sense when I realized we were in your room. I kissed you, then pulled you in there, but full disclosure, my memory of any details is very fuzzy. He gently leaned back and looked her in the eyes. That's the only thing that makes sense? You kissed me, then dragged me, he flexed his muscles to emphasize his point, into my room against my will? You're also a really nice guy, and I'm hardly the type of girl you usually go for. There went his eyebrows again. What type do I usually go for? Supermodel, super glamorous, super curvy, super gorgeous. I'm definitely more super plain Jane than your usual type. So you think I'm shallow? From Emma's perspective, she was worried she'd offended him for a second until she saw the twinkle in his eyes. He was teasing her. How you were after, though, downstairs when you held me with Kim in the room. You like me too? It was a genuine question. His face went serious. He leaned in slowly and gently kissed her. Not frenzied this time, slow, sensual, savoring every moment. It ended too soon. She felt his breath on her face before she opened her eyes. Who kissed who that time? She smiled and her eyes fluttered open again. I really want to kiss you again, she admitted, but restrained. They were both playing with fire. He smiled down at her a moment longer before backing away. He grabbed the car seat and closed the back door. He moved forward and opened the driver's door. He helped her in and leaned over to buckle her in. His scent filled her senses again. He pulled away and closed the door securely for her. He backed away, keeping his eyes locked to hers all the way to his front steps. She started her car and pulled away, breaking eye contact first, but couldn't help turning and giving him one last glance before driving away. She was in familiar territory again. Driving was one of her favorite things, so familiar, movement while sitting still, so why did everything feel so weird? She was floating, not driving. Streets drifted by. She made turns by road to her condo, her safe haven that suddenly seemed cold and empty. Her world seemed so different now. A call alert on her display screen pulled her focus. A quick glance at her caller ID had her breathing a string of curse words. Why the hell was Christian calling? Hey, bro, everything okay? You kissed John tonight? Holy crap, what the hell did John do? She shifted hard into damage control. She couldn't let John lose Christian in his life, even if it meant she did. I'll admit the details are a little hazy, but I maintain it was more my fault than his. Please don't be mad at him. So you're in agreement with the relationship? Relationship? What was happening? Upside Down World was supposed to end when she pulled away from his house. Was that what he said? She stammered. Emma, this isn't junior high. I'm not the go-between for some crush. John called me, admitted to kissing you, and asked if it was okay if he dated you. I'm just making sure that's okay with you. Her mouth moved several times, knowing he was waiting for an answer and completely stumped about what to say. If I say yes, will you resent John in any way? Of course not. I'm just irritated it's taking you guys so long. Good grief. Why didn't you get together last year during your trial? He wanted them to be together? I'm as plain as they come, and he's, you know him. Plus, isn't there a law about dating your older brother's best friend? Why didn't you talk to me if I was a factor? Her heart saddened. Did he not even realize? After we were rescued, you were so focused on Andi. I haven't known how to talk to you for years, and I know how important your relationship is to John. I wasn't going to take any chances. Until tonight? I'm pretty sure there's some astrological explanation. Several planets have collided or something. It's been a very weird night, including this conversation. I know I've been busy with Andi and then Chaselin, but I've been keeping track. He's a good man, Emma. If you were waiting for my approval, you have it, you weirdo. Emma chuckled. Most people would have thought he insulted her, but it was an endearment from her brother that always made her feel better. The words also brought tears to her eyes. She had been so close to Christian before her kidnapping. Another event of tragic luck, since that's where she'd met Andi. Emma had been groomed by a trafficker from the internet. Andi's family had sold her for money. They'd been rescued, and Christian had insisted his parents get legal guardianship of Andi, their connection clear the moment he looked at her. She loved Andi, but Emma's relationship with Christian was never the same. The moment Andi turned 18, he married her best friend, and she lost her too. She'd been fending for herself ever since. Thank you, Christian. I'll think about it, she offered weakly, feeling drained. She heard a soft noise that sounded like a frustrated growl on the line. There's a Renaissance fair this weekend about 30 minutes from John's house that Andi wants to attend. Can you make it Saturday? She winced. I kind of made plans for Saturday. Can your plans move to another day? Well, nothing was set. He was right. It could easily be rescheduled. Yep, I'll be there Saturday. Full dress. Winter lady. She knew the drill. I'll ask Andi and let you know tomorrow. We'll meet at John's at 10. Don't be late. Ooh, I've always wanted to try Lady Pirate if you could just, throw it in as an idea. He chuckled. I'll let her know. I love you, Emma. I love you too. Thank you for not being mad at John or me. Be there Saturday or I may change my mind. This made her smile again. Will do. Give Chaselin a hug and kiss for me.